go ahead and get started. So today's class is really going to be about synergy between advertising platforms, campaigns, and different strategies that, even we employ as an agency here today for our clients. So um, this is going to be a lot about content. So to set expectations, and you're going to hear this if you haven't attended my classes before, you're going to hear and see that I talk a ton about content. So if you have any questions, stop, interrupt me, throw it in chat. Again, some of these concepts are really pretty elementary in the grand scheme of things. But, if you have something you'd like to talk about specific to you, again, it's a small enough class that I think that we can all accomplish that. So let's go ahead and dive in. So first and foremost, and I'm going to bring up my website here since obviously it's not up anymore since we had to refresh everything. But the big picture here, and I'm going to share my screen, is really about when you're doing an advertising campaign or really anything you're doing marketing wise for your business, you want to advertise with purpose. It's just a really simple concept. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that whatever we're doing, whatever we're investing in, we're taking our times as small business owners to do, we want to make sure that we invest it in the right places. And we definitely want to make sure we get the biggest bang for our buck out of that, right? And so there's a couple of ways that we can do that. And one real primary way that we want to make sure that everything works in unison together. So the example that I give is this. A lot of clients have great websites. A lot of business owners, we have great websites. We put a lot of money, time, effort into that stuff. Social media pages, blogging, the 1,000 different means that we can go through to get our name out there on our business. But what ends up happening is, and this is the most common disconnect, is as business owners, again, we don't necessarily go at it, or we don't necessarily post with a strategy, or we're not creating content with a strategy. We're filling in gaps. That's the most common thing that I see is that, like a business owner, I met with a chiropractor this morning, and again, great individual from Denver, just has an amazing practice. He does amazing things, but here he is. I'm looking at his Facebook page, and it's just random stuff. His big emphasis is on sports medicine, so he deals with a lot of athletes and things like that. But here his Facebook page is talking about pregnancy and pediatric chiropractic and stuff like that, which again he does do, but it's really one of his blogs on his website are all personal blogs written by him that talk about sports injury and different things like that. So again, just didn't fit the bill. So as a consumer, let's just use an example here. If I was a consumer, I was in the dental market, and I go to his website, and okay, he's a rock star, he does all this stuff, great. Then I just happen to, maybe I'm not ready yet to see a chiropractor. So now I want to go to his Facebook page and maybe just like his page, maybe just see what type of content he's creating there, and connect with business on that level. I go over there, and now I'm seeing pediatric chiropractic. Now I'm seeing, whatever else he had posted up there. He had a couple of fun tips and stuff, but nothing's really working in synergy together. Then I actually took a look at his pay-per-click campaign. His pay-per-click campaign's focusing on like sciatic and golf injuries. And granted, golf kind of fit into maybe the sports a little bit, but not. It does and it doesn't at the same time. So again, none of these things were working in unison. He's got this guy over here doing this. He's got this guy over here doing that. Then he's trying to do this. But again, just a fragmented marketing campaign. So to really get the biggest bang for your buck, again, the thing that we sat down with him and talked to him about was, okay, you're creating all this wonderful content on your website. Great. Where are you sharing it to? His answer to that was, well, it's here. It's on my website. What else? What do you mean? And I was like, well, don't you think that would be good to share that on your Facebook page too? Because this is obviously the type of client that you're looking to attract. So why wouldn't you share this content over here? And better yet, why are you posting about pregnancy, prenatal, and all these other different types of chiropractic work when really this is what you want to focus on? Well, I hired a company that does it, and they just create content, and they just create posts for me. Okay, well, hey, that's fine, and it happens. It is what it is. So looking at this in a 360 view, the big emphasis is obviously we want to make sure that we're advertising with purpose, but more so we want to make sure that we're sharing content, we're sharing that information, and we want to make sure that we're giving clients what they look for. So the first thing, I'm going to start sharing my screen here real quick. And let's see here. So you're looking at my website here. So again, selfless plug for me. But when you look at this, what we write and what we blog about are obviously it's going to be relative to marketing, right? I'm trying to chat with myself. Did you see that? That was awesome. But when you look at this, again, we focus on a broad range of digital marketing, strategies and products and services. So we provide quite a bit in that realm. But when you really look at the big picture, do you see me talking about graphic design? Do you see me? I mean, if you ever check out our blog, I'm not posting things on graphic design. I'm not posting things on like business cards or, you know, billboards and stuff like that. Again, we focus on our wheelhouse and again, what we're really good at. Now, does that mean that as an agency, I can't go out and I can't buy a billboard for a client? No, of course I can. I can go buy TV and radio ads. I can do anything I want to do as an agency, but that's not really our bread and butter. We do those as ancillary services for clients. But these type of things, again, social media, Google, SEO tips, core updates, you name it. Like I said, we post on a variety of things throughout the month, but it's all going to be digital marketing related. From there, if you ever check out our feeds, our pages, again, I get it. Not all this stuff is rocket science and not all this stuff is great. But we try to make sure that, again, when you look at this, we have a nice blend of things like fun holidays. You'll see our blogs in here. You'll see content from other clients in here. Events that we're at this weekend. We volunteered at VetLink here, Give Back event for veterans. So, my favorite TikTok videos now. We're not going to watch that. But again, stats, statistics, everything works in synergy together. So what I'm posting on our blog or what I'm creating blog-wise is what's going to also show up on social media, which is also what we're talking to clients about, which is what we're updating our ad campaigns with, all that fun stuff. So think of your advertising campaign moving forward like a living, breathing thing. Now, the next step is once we create that synergy, if you will, the next thing is to make sure that, again, we have a full service, like we have a means to basically analyze it. So again, our dashboard, obviously, we have the ability to do that, but you don't need a fancy dashboard like this to accomplish that. What you really just need is you need a means to look at your analytics. Google Analytics is by far going to be your best resource for better understanding what type of traffic is generated for a campaign. Now, the reason why I say that is simple. The website is your first go-to-market strategy, right? It's the foundation of the business in terms of a digital presence. It's oftentimes the first place that consumers are going to find you. It's that, we got to make sure that we have put our best foot forward type thing. So the website is ultimately where we want to get people to, because that's really going to tell our story. That's going to help consumers understand, who we are, what we do, all that fun stuff. Social media is just a conduit to bring people in there. A billboard on the highway is just a conduit to bring people in. Same thing with Google Ads and really anything else that you do. It all funnels to one digital source. Now, back in the day, that source used to be our storefronts. Obviously, now usher in, thank you, COVID, now everybody's online. Everybody's looking online for what it is that they need. And so, again, we've got to make sure that we're providing a seamless strategy for those consumers in order to earn their business. So again, simple concept that you hear from us often is you got to put your best foot forward, or better yet, you get one shot to make a great first impression. Any one of those that you want to use, fantastic. But when we look at our analytics, so again, I'm just going to use our dashboard, but again, you can use analytics, you can use whatever you want. Facebook analytics to understand the metrics behind social, but really Google Analytics is really where you're going to find the meat and potatoes behind what you need to know. What we ultimately want to understand is how things are referring into us. So this is our 7-day traffic. I'm just going to go out to 60 days just so you can see where we're at. And again, what you want to look for is where are people coming from? Because again, if I'm going to put my money as a marketer, or let's just say I'm an average small business and I hire a marketing company, I want to better understand where my traffic is coming from. And to do that, we look at analytics and we say, okay, well, hey, I'm investing in a Facebook campaign over here and I'm spending $500 a month. And sure, Facebook's going to show you all these great analytics. Why? Because they want to keep selling you ads. But at the end of the day, what did that really mean for the business? Well, based on whatever that goal is of that campaign, typically it's to drive traffic to the business to either buy a product or service or whatever it is you're doing, to ultimately reach out and to contact you. And so to look at your analytics, you can see here, direct sources, 2,612 people have viewed our website in the last 60 days. Organically, 551 of those people came from search. And then 321 of those people came from referral sources, which is going to be like Yelp, Facebook, anything like that. But to dive into this traffic is really what's meaningful for you. So again, direct traffic, Those are people who know us. They've either heard of our name, they're our repeat, they're our referral clients. And truth be told, the vast majority of our business, even though we're an advertising campaign or advertising and marketing company, and yes, we do advertise and market ourselves, still the vast majority of our business comes from repeat referral clients. So when we look at this, I can see those individuals here. I can see how many times they came to the website, how many pages they looked at, how long they were on the site, and if they did or didn't take an action. Organic search, so these are people that typed in a keyword, or again, based on our strategy, we had 471 people. They viewed an average of 2 pages. They spent 3 minutes on the site, and we had a 62% bounce rate, which again, that's about average. This, a little bit high. So when we're comparing these data points together, statistically speaking, even though quantity-wise direct traffic was great, it's not our best referral source in terms of analytics to the site. Actually, organic traffic is. So we can see that this traffic is more meaningful because people are spending longer on the site, they're viewing more pages, and they're taking more actions because they're not bouncing off. Now, how I rank for Chinese search engines, I don't know, because truth be told, I don't do anything with those. We don't optimize for Baidu, but Baidu is the Chinese search engine. And again, you can see it's great quality traffic. Facebook referral. So again, Facebook desktop, you can see people just, they're not interacting with us. So Facebook, not a great lead source for a marketing company, truth be told. Mobile Facebook, again, you can measure all these. So when you're in there and you're looking at your own analytics and you're looking at your own traffic, what you need to do is understand just how things are coming in and what you're looking to get from that. Now, again, for social media, don't get discouraged by that. A lot of people will look at their analytics and say, oh my God, I'm not investing in this anymore because, you know, looking at my analytics, these people only spend 30 seconds on our site. Well, that may be true, but you also have to think about what they're doing on their phones typically, because again, the majority is going to come from mobile, although ours is pretty evenly split. But desktop versus mobile with social, people are browsing Facebook. They're stalking their exes. They're looking for weird stuff. I don't know. But they're doing a lot of stuff that, and the intent was not necessarily to find your business, but you pique their interest. So a lot of the times what people will do is they'll click on that ad, they'll click on that post because it showed up in their feed. And then they'll just go right back to Facebook and finish out what they were doing. They may come back later, they may do something later, but again, their first initial intent is not necessarily to look at whatever it is that you did. So again, this is not uncommon for Facebook. Upcity, that's a referral source for us that we pay for. So again, quality traffic coming from those. We advertise Del Norte County Chamber of Commerce in California, great traffic coming from that. This is a client's website, lots of stuff coming from that. So again, you can see the various sources that things are coming from. Use this data to better understand how you want to advertise and get in front of more people. If you have some momentum with whatever it is that you have some momentum with, use it, go with it, you know, push that through and make sure that you know where things are coming from. The second one is always to look at your content and to understand what people are doing on the site. Now, this class wasn't really meant to be an analytics overview, but it's so important for clients to understand what they're looking at because, again, when we go at things and we don't necessarily know what they're really doing for us, and you don't know how many clients I talk to in a day that all end up with the same story. It's all, and I love it. When somebody enters a conversation, they say, I think it's doing okay. I think this is getting me results. Well, then if you don't know, then you don't know. I mean, perception is at the root of all problems or all evils for marketing. So again, what you really need to focus on are facts, and these are the facts. This is what we look at to determine, is something working or isn't it? Now, when we look at this, again, for the content on the site, the vast majority of the people are coming in through our page, so we can see what that looks like. And we can tell people are spending 1 minute and 34 seconds on the page. People are looking at this and bounce rates at 65%, which isn't bad. Anywhere between 60 is average. So that's not bad, a little high, but I'll take it. So when we look at that, homepage looks pretty good. The About Us page, 168 people, second most trafficked page, spending an average of 3 minutes and 46 seconds. Lord knows why people want to spend that much time on that page. And bounce rate at 78%. Now that's okay because on our About Us page, form on that page. So that's natural that we would see that. But now Now we start looking at the contact us page. 2.5 minutes on a contact us page seems a little bit high to me. Forms or going to that page to actually contact us, or either calling us, which Google can't account for, so that's going to create a high bounce rate, or they're not filling out that form. So again, there's something to be had data-wise. But you start going through this as PR, web design, UX starts to that picture. Some of these less stands to reason you might need to do a little bit more if you really want to beef up that portion of your business, or better yet, you want to understand like big indicator on a resources page. You have a few seconds. It's better one. Franchise marketing services, 36 seconds. That's a really low traffic page quantity-wise, but it's also people just aren't spending much time on it. So for me as a marketer, I might need to look at this and I might need to say, okay, well, we're obviously not giving people what they want to see. We need to take a look at that. So again, data will tell you anything and everything you need to know about your website. There are also fun little tools that you can do. Now, again, I'm going to nerd out in a minute here, and I'm going to show you a heat map. There's really easy plugins you can do on websites to help understand what people are doing on the website. And the ultimate goal of all of this is to improve and to provide clients with the best user experience possible. So again, pop-up obviously needs to go. You can see where people are clicking here. We've since redesigned our homepage, so obviously, this is not accurate anymore. Lots of people looking at our strategic partners because obviously they're clicking on the arrow here. You can see, these learn more buttons. Nobody's given these any love. Again, clicking back and forth on those. People love credibility factors. That's chamber, logos, stuff like that, memberships, associations. Again, it's anything to connect you with something bigger than yourself, if that makes sense. And you can come down here and you can see anything and everything, where people are clicking, what they're doing, how they're doing it, all that fun stuff. And again, lots of people looking at our inner core pages, resources, contact, click to call on the phone number. This links over to a Google My Business. So you can really look at this stuff and so don't dismiss data, because data is a full 360 on this, just to kind of bring everything in together. So big picture wise, when we're developing content, and really content's king. So when we're really talking about a strategy, we really want to focus on a content first strategy. That just means that, again, we're producing meaningful content, relevant content for our clients or potential clients that ultimately teach them something. We want to establish ourselves as an expert. So that's first and foremost. Even if you're a plumber, again, I know that there's a million plumbers out there. How do you differentiate yourself? There's only so many ways you can say drain cleaning. You're right, there is, but you got to find another way. And I mean, it's literally that simple. You got to talk about why you're the expert. Don't be afraid to associate yourself with other industries, businesses, accolades, like BBB, chambers of commerce, little things like that. Again, it helps people get out of their own way. But you ultimately want to have those trust factors, those credibility factors, and that content on the website that will ultimately help with the conversions. The next step is obviously to make sure that we disseminate that information. We want to write blogs. Blogs support inner core content on your website. So if you ever go to our blogs, which obviously, there we go. If you ever go to our blogs, this page will interlink over to the social media page. Link spam update. This will link over to SEO. Most of these are going to be SEO because that's a core product. So again, all of these interlink over into our core pages, which are over here. Offsite blogs, they work a little bit different. So if we ever write a blog and I submit it over to, let's just say the Chamber of Commerce. If I submit a blog over to Marlene and say, hey, Marlene, we just wrote this for businesses here in the area. Would you mind maybe sharing this on the Chamber's website? She goes and shares that. That's an offsite blog. That also provides credibility factors for us. But everything here is going to work in synergy together. The strategy that we do on blogs and the content that we write are going to support the inner core pages that we ultimately want to get ranking and we want to develop more on. The next step is going to be with social media. We want to make sure that we share this information on social media as well. Again, people connect with us, and a lot of people forget why people like pages and follow pages. And it's because they want to receive your content. They're not just liking you arbitrarily because they felt like clicking a button for the day. They genuinely want to connect with you as a business, and they want to see what information you have to provide. So give them that information. Don't be afraid to share quick tips, tricks, all that fun stuff. But again, make it a part of a bigger strategy is really the big picture. If you want to focus, and I'll pick on Bree because she's on, I saw her. So Bree with AJ Law. Again, simple things, if they want to focus on PI injury, and let's just say specifically car accidents. Again, billboard on I-17 coming into the valley, focusing on car accidents, blogs that are going to be focusing on car accidents, syndicating those blogs on their social page, facts, figures, statistics related to car accidents. All those things will work together to ultimately establish them as the expert, and that will increase conversions. Fragmenting it, meaning if we were to have a billboard on I-17 that talked about medical malpractice, then we're talking about car accidents and blogs. That's a disconnect. Somebody that saw that billboard's not going to get that same look, feel that they want on the website, and that's going to lead to a decrease in conversions. And again, these are all statistics, so it's not me making it up. It's fact. This is how this stuff works. So, that's a lot of talk.